you're watching this, please don't be like every franchise brand that says, where are my leads? Come prepared with data that aligns back to your brand so we can actually understand how your funnel works. Now, there's a few things that I want to talk about that might help you understand your funnel. One is your website. If you land on that site, it says buy my franchise, you have to understand that if you and I go back to the day before we were in franchising and say, explain it, we can't. Why? Because franchising is kind of difficult. It's a hard business. At the end of the day, you're investing your life savings into a business you have little to no control over. That's complex and most likely in investing or changing careers. So because of that, this is where we've studied this funnel to say for investments as of we're in 2026, as for investments under $500,000, it's 6.4 months and above, it's closer to a year to go from impression, ooh, I learned about a franchise or franchising, to I'm filling out a form. And so knowing this now, the tactics that we deliver today, we could go spend $1 million on the funnel today. It's not going to have the deliverable that you want or the success rate that you want. But what it's going to do is going to fill the funnel for 6 months or a year down the line. And so when we're looking backwards, step one is to understand, well, what does the funnel even look like? The line that I use to our team is, let's report on the weather of next week, not on the weather of last week, just like the weather people do. And that gives us an insight to be able to pull from data and looking at traffic into a website, into the markets we're trying to target, into leads, application, deals, so that we could be a little bit more prescriptive. And so if we have an insight that we have to grow in state X, we might say, all right, well, let's take some of the spend and move it to state X. And so it's more of a strategic play. This funnel, though, remember, before a lead, they have to go around the web and get comfortable, which is why the education side is so important, which is why ChatGPT and understanding what your story is within AI is so important. And so you have to build the influence over time to now have structure and impact back to the way that the candidate searches. In the past, the funnel was really born by portals or trade shows, then moved more into brokers. Brokers are still very prevalent in franchising. They want to acquire anybody who's qualified and ready to buy. And so knowing that these engines are there, well, how do we start stepping in? Well, the candidate's getting smarter. And because they're searching, this is where the storytelling is so important, where that brand drumbeat comes in so that we can start fixing your funnel. So what are the basics to fix it? Messaging and positioning, consistency of delivery across the platforms, content that lives around the web, PR, podcasts, et cetera, to help lend credibility back to what your brand story is, and then looking at the data and analytics. So why most franchise funnels break is, one, we don't understand the data. We're looking at leads as the metric. Two, we don't have a strong enough brand drumbeat to raise the awareness of the franchise opportunity. And three, we don't know how to nurture those candidates when they come in. And so if you want to get a lift on this is the whole point of talking with us. Is our job is to help you understand your funnel, figure out what is broken, fix it, measure it, and help you get back to the growth that you expect.